Chairman of the Republican National Committee, Florida State Senator Joe Gruters. Good morning to you, Mr. Chairman. So Ken Paxton got a major boost in the polls since the president's endorsement led to a massive victory Tuesday night. What does this say to you about where the Republican Party stands right now, old guard versus MAGA and the president?
Well, once again, it proves that this is the president's party. Texas is a Republican state. We're going to win this state. And I'm thankful that Ken Paxton won his primary. Congratulations to him. He's a MAGA warrior. He'll do a great job for us in the United States Senate.
Yeah, and you mentioned that you believe Texas will stay red, but this is going to be a tough race with Ken Paxton going up against James Tallarico. Of course, the legacy media says that Paxton's win could be what hands the Democrats that Senate seat in November because they're saying that Paxton is a flawed candidate. What do you think? How do Republicans keep this seat red?
We keep it red because Tallarico is a creep, and he thinks he's a vegan. He thinks God is non-binary. He wants to mutilate children. He wants to put boys in girls' locker rooms. People are done with that. If you looked at the autopsy the Democrats put out, it's simple. All those things and the fact that they are openly supporting communists and socialists, people don't want the United States Senate. Certainly the voters in Texas don't want that. We think Paxton will win. We think it's a red seat. Hands down, we're not going to have any issues heading into November. We're happy with Paxton, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure he's successful.
Well, you touched on the themes, I think, of the upcoming campaign there a little bit, Mr. Chairman. But here's a reminder of the moderate religious man Democrats are trying to pass James Tallarico off as. Take a listen to this.
God is both masculine and feminine and everything in between. God is non-binary. Trans children are God's children, made in God's own image. Modern science obviously recognizes that there are many more than two biological sexes. In fact, there are 6.
You might as well put just a little disclaimer on there. Paid for by the Republican National Committee. There's your ad, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, well, listen, Texas had a lot of people move there from California, and Tallarico was not one of them, but it seems like he wants to represent them. He should be representing one of these super woke left-wing states, not super red Republican Texas.
So I want to get to the redistricting war now between Alabama, Florida, and South Carolina. One state's map blocked, another state's map cleared, a third becomes the next state to defy the president. South Carolina, 12 state Senate Republicans rejecting those new maps. Of course, their primary is June 9th. Should they be cautious of an Indiana repeat? What do you think?
Well, listen, again, you go back to this is the president's party. You saw what happened with the Indiana senators that defied the president. And don't forget, this is not some new thing. Democrats have been using redistricting for 3 decades, and look at the Northeast, 0 representation in Congress. What the vice president said a long time ago is we're rebalancing the scales. South Carolina had an opportunity to do that, and they passed. And listen, it's going to happen eventually, and my guess is those senators will have to respond to their constituents. And what happened in Indiana with those 6 seats is the American people gave the president a mandate. Those Indiana senators refused to support the president. These South Carolina state senators also refuse now to help the president, and I think their time will come. But it's going to be. But look, in Florida, those maps were cleared. Alabama, we may get 2 seats, obviously in the court. So this redistricting war that continues on looks more and more favorable to the Republicans. And like I said, what the vice president said a long time ago is we're evening out the scales. I think it may end up being a plus 10 to 12 seat pickup for Republicans, which would certainly tilt the balance in the midterms.
And you definitely have the fundraising advantage to go with it. All right, Mr. Chairman, Joe Gruters, great to see you this morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.